Hello everyone, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Rise. Hope you're doing well out there. As you can see, I finally did change the gun, but not too far. As we wrap up this series on the village, I present to you one of the most fun weapons and enjoyable changes they made, the gunlance. So, without further ado, let us launch into Goss, one of my new favorite monsters. They do such a good job of showing off its relentlessness. Yeah, pretty much the Goss is Yeti meets a freaking slasher horror. And I love it. However, we're not here just for it. We're here for the gun lance. Now the gun lance is exactly as it sounds. It's a lance that's also a gun. Up in the top you can see how many shells you have, as well as a wyvern stake. We will cover that once we start fighting. It also has a wyvern fire, again we will cover that. But essentially, you shoot, you reload, you poke, and repeat ad infinitum until it dies. You can also unleash all shells by doing that, and as well as use the wyvern stake afterwards. Depending on the kind of gun lance you're using, your amount of shells will differ, as well as what the stake does. This one, the Acnosum gun lance, is a normal shelling, so it has the highest amount of normal shells, as well as the stake just does repeated damage. However, that's not what makes it so special in this one. No, after making a certain amount of gun lances, you get its switch skill, which is the blast dash. But you can do it 3 times before you have to reload. Which you can also re-aim it pretty easily. And you can also speed up the process if needed. Yes, the gun lance is my dirty little pleasure, and I freaking love it. And what a fitting way to end the series than using it. Yes, as sad as it is, I might have to end this series soon because I'm running out of hub monsters, and although I can show off the multiplayer, that will require more because I don't feel like fighting those alone. It's more fun in a group. Unless you guys want to see multiplayer content, that's fine, but at the same time you can always catch that over on Twitch. But yeah, Goss, an absolute unit of a monster. It's the 4th of the beast types, following up upon Arzuros, Lagambi, and Volvidon, showing that you can make something truly potent with that skeleton. Now, people often say that the gun lance is a little bit too simple. I don't agree. There's a lot of nuances to it. Just not on surface value. However, unless you have something like Razor Sharp, you're going to be eating a lot of sharpness. Those shells just take it. Which, depending on the level of the shell, which this one's normal level 2, depends on how much the shells actually do. until you get a skill like artillery. But the problem is, the shells don't actually scale well into late game. They do good damage, good raw damage through basically anything. And they are one of the best weapons to break parts. But they just don't scale well, which is its main problem. If they did something to allow it to get... Wow, he did a double. I should have known that. To get more damage, I think the gunlance would be even more loved. That being said, I think it's in a good area right now. Shelling still does great part breaking, get tenderizer on it, you get a good affinity on it. They just released a B-52 set, so that's nice. And for those that don't know, that's Basil Goose, or Betelgeuse, or Bagel Juice, or Beetlejuice, whatever you want to call it. A favorite from World, which received no fanfare when released. If you look at the actual patch notes, they just mentioned, oh hey, a roaming monster. That's all they did for him. That being said, oh my gosh, the update added so much good. Chameleus is a joy to fight. I just unlocked Koosh. He's a little bit more fair in this one and not the complete... Let's just say he's just more fair. He's not as much of a drudge to fight. And the fact they put him after Chameleus shows that you were expected to use poison against him, which is still rather smart. Love it when games do that. But yeah, as you can see, Goss can just... I don't even need to explain him. He does everything himself. That being said, you now see the green after I did the ground slider there. That means all the shells have received a power boost. Personally, this is not the set I would want to use with it, but it's fine for now, as long as I have Constitution. And as you can see, he hits like a freaking truck. As to be expected from a Yeti Oni mix. And he gone. Birds are talking today. Oh yeah, and because I don't think I said it, I hope you're all doing well out there. It's been a rough couple of days, let's just say. I've been sick, so I haven't been able to record. You're probably going to catch this right after the next one, at least in 2 days. But yeah, it's been rough on me. Forged Fantasy is at least up to 14 chapters as I'm making this episode. Which that piece has been quite a treat to work on. So many parts moving. And yeah, normally it takes a lot more work to break those arms. But I essentially just had them broken within a couple rounds of the gunlance. This thing's part breaker is no joke. Face is now broken. Oh, look at that! The Tiki was nice enough to give me a ride. How about I repay the favor and give him a ride? Wow, I completely missed. Yeah, as I said, Goss is one of my more favorite monsters they added. From his design to how he fights, his introduction, he is a force to be reckoned with. Is that a bunny? So you also give me a bunny to ride. Which is proving a challenge to work with around 2 of them. I'm out of time, apparently. And now he has the dual blades going on, aka dual greatswords. I'm actually tempted to turn on damage to numbers just to show those shells. You know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to need you to hold still. Okay, basic pokes are about 9 to 11 damage. So let's do a shell, shall we? Yeah, just a row of 13s. So yeah, the shells actually do a decent bit of damage right now. That's right, break them off. And boom. He's also quite tanky. And as you can see, getting something like Razor Sharp or even just Speed Sharpener with Gunlance is going to pay off big time. Wrong button. And I know it could have sharpened on his back, but old habits die hard. Okay, this one's just being annoying. Which, by the way, you can break the braids. You can break them by using fire damage on them. And when you do, it does stagger him. The problem is, he's being a little bit too annoying. And down he goes. Long has greater range and their wyvern stakes do incredible damage, while the wide one has wider area of effect, thus it can hit multiple parts, but also its stake can cause KO damage. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, and all are fun. It's coming. Twisted Desire, Hunta Diablos. And that was right, you just watched it suplex an Anjanath. Ah, Diablos. Another one of the classic monsters who had a starring role in the Monster Hunter movie. Dude acted more like a Cephadrum there. But yeah, it's basically a Triceratops. But on two legs. And very angry. And because of that, you can pretty much guess how it fights. Lots of straightforward things. In truth, Diablo suffers from cool design, lame fight syndrome. Oh, yep, field hazard. Now, it actually has several breaks, but good luck with the gunlance trying to get majority of them because they're higher up. You can cut its tail. But the main draw here are its horns. But to list everything that can break, its back, its wings, its tail, both horns. Yes, you have to break both horns. Which is a precursor to another monster that we will probably not see on the series. But yeah, I'm going to withhold any kind of review for this game because it is nowhere near done. They still have several more content updates to do before it's considered even close to done. And first horn broken. Is it going to jump? Yep. Okay, I'm going to use this time to sharpen. They get flung anyways. But yeah. This is pretty much the fight. Just run back and forth, swing side to side. Tunnel every so often. Oh look, I broke the back by never touching the back. That is such a satisfying sound. Still tired? Yep. Swing around. And there went the other horn. Now if we wanted to, we could go after the tail. We're not going to. Again, old habits die hard when I can just ride my dog. Yeah, online I usually run with a cat because it just offers too much. Cats are really good online, especially once you realize how everything works and realize that getting there first is not usually the best thing. Especially when most people run Gunner online anymore. But given a certain inclusion of another weapon, I have a feeling that Sword and Shield is going to see a lot of love. The Ninja Sword ain't no joke. The only weapon I've ever seen with 100% affinity. Yeah, you heard that right. 100% affinity before you add any other buff on top of it. So you can look at 140% affinity with the current standard. Current meta. I have magic on the brain. And not good magic. Oh, there's another trap. Environmental traps. Essentially, when these break, they create sand whirlpools, as you saw before, which suck them right in. Which I always found strange that it works on Diablos because he can tunnel. But I'm not one to judge. Too harsh. Now, I know it looks like I get my butt kicked a lot when doing these. Do I ever actually cart? Do I ever actually die? Those are my questions. I'm not aiming for perfection. I'm aiming for survival. Friggin' Dalek. Of course, watch my hubris now be completely unwarranted. Now, I'm not going to say I'm Mr. Perfect. I do die a good few times. But I aim to keep it to a minimum. That's always been my one strength when it came to games like this. I can usually gauge when my cutoff is. Oh, it's almost ready to capture. Oh. See? I incorporated it once. Once! Ah! My cat just screwed me! And dead. Alright then, now let's go ahead and take a look at both of the armors, starting with Diablos's. Pointy shoes. Pointy waist. Pointy everything. And then the Goss Herog set. I freaking love that set. I really do. Just looks so good. And then we also unlock the skull, which they completely ruined in this one, in my opinion. However, in any case, that will wrap up this episode. There is one more episode after this that we can do, and I've been putting it off this whole time. The special license test. However, after that point, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do any more episodes, or if I do, it's going to be multiplayer centered. Because I can do the village, the hub on my own. I really don't want to. This is a multiplayer game after all. So I hope you all enjoyed this series. There's going to be one more after this. I'm not sure if there's going to be a follow-up. If I can get the advanced, I might follow up with a new episode. However, this is going to wrap up Monster Hunter Rise until a further date. I hope you all enjoyed the journey. Remember to like and subscribe if you actually do enjoy it, and I'll catch you in another episode. Have a good one.